Welcome back. Well, it's always a great thing if we have good news to report about schools and learning and education. Well, right now I have some great news to impart with you. Joining us is Chef Frank Murphy from North Bend, Oregon, and North Bend High School. And Frank, I tell you what, we're very excited about the news coming out of Oregon through your school and through one of these ovens. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, we kind of took a chance, and I had to get our administration to go with making a chance, and they took the plunge, and our kids just love it. We bought one of the larger ovens, and what we found is that the kids are just, every one of them, they're enthused about it. But the best thing is, it's not just about cooking pizza or anything. We have a culinary classes. We have 150 kids basically every day, and we use that oven for everything from smoking to grilling to baking, roasting. The kids don't get to make pizza in it only about once a term. That's their highlight. But what we do with it, we help fund not just ourselves but other clubs. We're almost self-sufficient in the monies that we need to run our program, and the oven is a big help in that. And our kids have to run it like a business. So they have to do the production. They know the costs and stuff involved. They have to man it. They have to set it up. They have to pull it down. They have to clean it.
Wow.
It's theirs. They take responsibility for it. We call ourselves Blazing Bulldogs. They came up with the logo. They came up with the name, and it's really run as a business. What I've found is I've got kids that are 4-0 kids, and I've got kids on the opposite end. And those kids that are on the edge, that really don't like school, we need stuff like this to keep them in school. Keeps them enthused about it. They get involved and they get their hands-on stuff, and you can see the smiles on their faces, and it's just great, and it keeps them in school. It means every day that they stay in school, they do a little bit more math, they do a little bit more science, they do a little bit more English, whatever language, and I think it's a major part. Every school, they just need to have something like this.
I tell you, I really am a big believer in it. And Ajith, you have supported him every step of the way, haven't you?
It was a pleasure supporting him because he was the champion. He had to convince the administrative team, and it was a blessing because it really fell in line with Fire Within's core belief, investing on culinary schools and future chefs of America. And so when Frank Murphy and I started talking, I was willing to offer everything that we possibly could. And we gave our Rolling in the Dough, which is a complete business manual. I heard from Chef Frank Murphy that they're planning on using an entrepreneurship program.
Wow.
And also I opened up scholarships for Frank Murphy to come in, and I would like to offer in the future any North Bend Bulldog chefs are welcome to come to here in Colorado and start learning from Fire Within Wood-Fired University as well. So,
You know, it's good news for everybody. And Chef Frank, this really touches on all the cornerstones of a great education, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. And I said we're high school, when you look at an oven and you see when you're using it, you realize that the kids are doing math. When they're making their dough, they have to weigh, they have to do, and that's all math.
Right.
They have to make change. They have to figure out the costs involved. They have to, we have to do orders, so they're writing. There's science involved. There's physics involved because it's fire. They love the fire. It touches on all of those programs, those core programs that schools are trying to push. And here we have it all in one spot, and they're using what they're learning in other classes in culinary. You don't even have to have a culinary class, even, I believe. You could do this in any school. Just have to have some teacher who just wants to go for it.
Well, you're quite the teacher as well. I see you're always very supportive of your students, concerned about their individual needs beyond an education. So you're a education person that's really passionate about the people that he teaches. You walk the walk and you go beyond the 8 to 4. And as a result of that, you got this whole covey of high school students that are learning things that I'm certain are going to take with them no matter if they go into the restaurant business or not, they're going to have skills that apply elsewhere. And as a result of that, the administration is extremely happy and very supportive. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My vice principal took me aside there. I think it was in June, right at the end, and said to me, he said, you know, when you were wanting to get this oven, we thought that you were all crazy, and that you'd lost it, and it took a bit to get us. And I thought he was on my side, but it turned out he was on the fence. And he said it just came up in a meeting, and they thought it was one of the best things to happen in the high school. They see those kids. Of course, they get to eat pizza and stuff, so that's probably part of it. But you know, it also gives the opportunity to do a lot of fundraising, and it's not just for us, but for anyone. When you get into it and you realize, for instance, if we do burgers at a game, football game, we have to sell 4 burgers with a soda or whatever, water, and a bag of chips. We've got to sell 4 of those to make the same profit as 1 pizza.
Wow.
That's simple math.
That is.
And the pizza's a lot, you know, let's say healthier. And we just it just adds up to a lot more money. So it just pays for itself. If you'd asked me before I got it whether, you know, how far it would go and stuff, I would have been, oh, maybe it's going to go okay. But now I'm an advocate. I think that a school without one of these, or if you've got culinary classes, you need to figure out how to get one of these.
And just to that end, you have a team that really is going to assist schools out there who may see have the light bulbs going on right now. There are grants out there, there are other monies, there are corporations that are willing to sponsor, and if they contact you, you can kind of work with them to get them started.
That's exactly right, Bill. What Chef Frank Murphy did was using one of their grants that they received last year to buy our oven. That's absolutely right. You know, our best place to go is www.firewithin.com, and we'll guide you through. And also, we are willing to pair you up with some of the corporate sponsors. You know, so we work with a lot of food product companies. Happy to support you any way possible, because we are excited about this opportunity. You know, empowering young chefs of America.
Yep, this is really our future. And the best part about all of this is, I believe, is the fact that there's this beautiful bulldog mosaic on top of this oven, custom to your school.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's been the talk of the town, you know. So we have our logo on there and North Bend on the back of it, and the whole unit looks great. And that actually adds into the way I teach my kids. I tell them when they are working this oven, they're not just representing themselves. They have to wear their uniform with their logo and stuff. They got to keep. Although I did make a mistake, we bought black uniforms, black and flower. I don't know what I was thinking, right? But it has also paid off, because we get plenty of people saying, "Hey, we know that they're working. You know, they can see it." But they have to be professional in it. I drill into them before every time. It's like, we're up there. You're not just yourself. You're the guy next. You represent the person next to you. You're representing our class, the class that you're in. We're representing the culinary classes, and most important, North Bend High School. And if we're playing against another team, or someone's come in, or other groups are coming into the school, we're also representing North Bend. So they get that, and they feel like it gives them a little bit of a go. You could see the smiles on their faces, especially when people come and say, "I really enjoyed that pizza." And those, I always go back to the kids that are on the edge. A lot of times they don't get that. They don't get recognition. It's usually they're getting in trouble. But when an administration comes up, or just a customer or something comes up and says, "Hey, wonderful pizza, I really enjoy that," they're on cloud 9.
That's great. Well, I tell you what, a wonderful success story. Go Bulldogs, and
Go Bulldogs.
Thank you so much for being on, Chef Frank.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.